Welcome to Insurasales Live, and this needs no introduction. We got Coach Burt here. How you doing, Coach?
Good, man. Thank you for having me.
Good to see you. So, first of all, we're at 8% Nation.
Yes.
Thank you for coming in for the interview and all this. What is it? What is particular about insurance that inspires you, and why do you come to a place like 8% Nation, and about the insurance business that really inspires you?
In 2018, I was speaking at 10X, 10,000 people at Mandalay Bay, and Cody Askins sat on the front row. And I didn't know him. And I finished speaking, I came off the stage, I sat on the front row watching one of my buddies named Tim Grover, and Cody reached out to me and said, I want you to speak at this conference. And so at that time, we really weren't coaching large numbers of insurance people. We coach anybody in saturated or commoditized industries, insurance, mortgage, real estate, anybody that thinks they want to get better, right? And so I started speaking at 8%. I've been speaking every year from that point forward. Yeah. Which has led to a lot of coaching, obviously, for me in the insurance space.
Well, everyone here loves you. Everyone here loves you.
I love them too.
Tell me about, I mean, you're a coach at heart,
Yep.
and that's a particular type of person.
Yes.
That's a coach. I often am, I'm a frustrated. If I wouldn't have gotten in the insurance business, I would have been a coach. I wanted to be a baseball coach or a psychiatrist, and I got into got into insurance and didn't look back. But tell me the importance of coaching and how that is different from training in your mind.
Coaching is engaging people in a set of systematic behaviors that allows them to do something tomorrow they can't do today.
Right.
A good coach helps you find and fill a missing structure. Right? The best people in the world have coaches, not because something's wrong with them, but because they're trying to get better. You know, I was telling you about how I've coached most of the people who are on stage. They've gone through my Burt School of Speaking, Coaching, and Writing, and I've coached them in how to package concepts and how to present concepts and how to monetize a concept. So a good coach, I feel like, can change everything for you.
Okay, so your value proposition that you're bringing to people. So I know nothing about you. I come in and say, hey, I met you on the street. What can you offer me to be a better businessman, better family man? What is it you offer?
Well, over the last 30 years, all I've been doing is coaching people toward their potential, which is an idea of kinetic energy. So to me, I'm going to bring a structure to grow the business, how you explain your value, how you generate leads, how you follow up on those leads and convert, how you generate referrals, how you become known in the world. And typically, I've written books on each part of that process. Right. So you may say, I want to be a person of interest in the world. What do people of interest do? They're writing books. They have their own shows. They've got podcasts. They're on stages. They're having conferences. So I coach people kind of into becoming people of interest.
And so you're talking about systems.
Yep.
You're talking about systems. There are systems to follow.
Yep.
But is it more than that?
There's a lot more to it than that. The system is there, but the new book I'm writing is called Flip the Switch. It's about the activation of prey drive, P-R-E-Y-D-R-I-V-E, which is the motivation to pursue. It's the motivation to go get it. An animal has a prey drive, right?
Okay.
And I'm making an assertion that humans have a prey drive, but it has not been activated. So the book goes into the psychology of how to do that. How do I flip a switch in you, or in those people, or in my wife, or in my kids?
So tell me, I'm prey drive.
Yep.
That makes me hungry, like I'm prey. I'm being pursued.
Yep.
I have a fight or flight, but like directed. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, prey drive is instinct to pursue. Pursue what? Deals, opportunity, potential, relationships. It's an instinctual ability to see something with the eyes or in the mind and have the persistence and intensity to go get it.
Now, is there a system to that? There obviously is, but the systems I found don't work in and of themselves.
Yeah. The system is, there's 3 phases to this: activation, persistence, intensity. And then there's certain activators of prey drive that I've basically over 30 years said this will flip the switch in a person.
So that flips the switch on you and makes you become your best self.
Makes you want to expand.
Get you hungry.
Increases your wantingness for something. Yeah.
Talk about the importance of that.
It's everything. I was having this conversation with an insurance executive once, and he wanted to teach this and this and this and this, and I said, none of that matters until the prey drive is activated. Doesn't matter how much you know until the drive to want something bigger or better is activated inside of you. And sometimes that comes by going to a conference and being exposed to somebody, being in an environment, being around big-time people,
So why would I want that prey drive activated? I'm comfortable.
Yep.
I'm happy. I'm making money. I'm a millionaire, or I'm making 6 figures finally.
Sure.
Why do I want that if I'm okay? Why would I?
Well, the greatest suppressor of prey drive is comfort. And we live in one of the greatest countries in the world. So we have a lot. So that's why we become complacent. Nobody wants to be complacent, right?
Right.
That's a gradual settling to a place of mediocrity. So why do people become complacent? We don't want our kids to become complacent.
Right.
Well, because we lose our prey drive. Satisfied needs never motivate people. Right. Only unsatisfied needs.
Now, do you find a lot of people are complacent? They're in that deal. You say they don't want to be. I don't know. I see a lot of people that seem to want to be.
Yeah.
Or are they just justifying that they are stuck in that complacency?
Both. I mean, there's people here that want to grow because they're at a conference.
Sure.
They're spending money. They came here to learn something. But this is a small percentage of the population in comparison to most insurance agents, right?
Right.
What's wrong with all the other insurance agents that don't know they can get better, or don't try to get better, or don't read a book, or don't go to a seminar, or don't hire a coach, right? Yeah. So there's a large percentage of people that are complacent.
Do you think it's important to, like for business owners, all that, to try to flip that in someone else, or is it something that someone has to do for themselves?
Both. It's interesting because your prey drive is internal, but it almost always has to be motivated by something external.
That's where I want to get.
Okay, so this is why we have coaches, right? A good coach is trying to activate that drive in you. When you get to a higher level, you learn how to do it in yourself. But very few people get to that level, which is why we need managers.
Right.
Which is why we need other people to get us excited and get us motivated and give us the courage to take an action.
See, in my businesses, I've replaced the word managers with coaches.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't have sales managers. I have sales coaches.
I love it.
Because of that deal. And in my mind, that means someone who's always on your side, who's your advocate, who's your psychiatrist, your coach, your driver, your pusher, your inspiration.
Yes.
It's so many things. The systems work, and they have stuff that, it kind of, you're becoming something else, and the system can kind of give you those anchors and those triggers 100%. To think about.
Yes.
But once you go through those steps and all that, you don't think about those 3 steps anymore because you become that new thing.
That's right. Yeah.
And that's your skill is helping people to become that new thing where they're on a new level, and it happens automatically.
That's correct.
Right?
Yes.
So how does a business owner, when you're building your business, inspire your team to activate that prey drive, you're saying? And what are the best skills you could teach them to help do that? Because we all want our people around to be as hungry as we are.
That's what I'm saying. We want them to be motivated. But most managers have not been trained in how to be a coach. They don't have the background, the pedigree, the understanding, the psychology, right? So there's like, I'm trying to get more out of my insurance agents. What if we just activated the drive in a small percentage of them?
Right.
How much more could that be worth?
Right.
Millions of dollars.
Right.
If every agent just did one more deal.
Right.
So you really need special skill set in a person who knows how to do that. I was a women's basketball coach.
Yep.
That's where my pedigree came from. I spent a decade studying how to take a kid from here to there, from all backgrounds, all socioeconomic backgrounds, 1 parent, 2 parents, rich, poor.
Well, that's part of it, right?
And that's part of what got me fascinated in, man, we can take this person and enhance their performance.
Right.
Then I started doing it in corporate America. And I said, man, for the hungry, we can take this person and increase their performance if they have a coach.
Right. So it sounds to me like you really are working with the people who are self-motivated, who are hungry.
Yes.
Is there a way, is it just more practical to find the people who are already hungry and help them than it is to
try to convince
inspire
someone.
People who aren't? Right.
Yeah.
I'm learning that the hard way
there's
myself,
growth mindset and fixed mindset. This starts very early in life.
Right.
We have a success school for kids where we teach kids the habits of the top 1% of performers.
Right.
90 days with us, they get a coach, they come to boot camps with me, and one of the main concepts is teaching them what an open mindset is, how to be open, how to not be fixed, how to not be closed. Because if I get you and you're 40 and you're closed, it don't matter who you bring in to coach you.
Talk to me about that, open and closed. What does that mean?
Well, an open mindset is I'm open to suggestion. I'm open to possibility. I'm open to doing it a better way. I'm open to coaching. Fixed is there's a preset condition. I've already said, look, I can't get any better. I don't want to get any better. I'm good. Don't bother me.
Or even the conscious awareness of knowing that there is more possible. The cliche of the more I learn, the more I know I don't know.
Yeah. That's right.
So true on so many levels, and the more you realize that, the more you realize you don't realize it.
That's right.
In the same way.
Yeah.
So so that how that stacks.
Yeah.
I'm just the openness to me. I found that the most successful people come in saying, I don't know anything, I need to learn something, I'm not doing good. I come here, I'm in my world, I feel like I'm doing pretty good. I come here and I say I'm a rookie.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's so much,
That's
so
openness.
many good people here and all that. And I try to expose my team. Someone asked me the other day, like, well, you brought 20 some of your team, some of your best salespeople here. They might get recruited out from under you. I'm like, what if they do?
Yeah.
What if they do? Maybe if they found a better fit? I mean, someone else might find a better fit with us. I don't know, but I had to get out of that scarcity mindset of I have to hold things back and control them.
Yep.
And just say, look, let the world become what it's going to be if I can be more authentic.
Right.
Because I want to learn, and I want the people around me to be in a system where they're learning and growing. And I certainly don't want to be someone holding them down.
Right.
But then there's the closed off. Do you really think that, like, if someone's closed, there's no way to open that? Like,
no, I think exposure can open it. I think getting them into an environment where they can be exposed to something, I think that could open their mind. Yeah. But if they never put themselves in that environment, they never see a bigger future. They never even know it exists.
Yeah, I think that's it. It's an awareness deficit.
Yes. Yeah.
It's an awareness deficit.
Yeah.
So if you go somewhere, you are inspired. So many people say, I went to a Tony Robbins event and I was nobody, and now I'm a multimillionaire.
That's right.
I went to this or that.
That's exactly right.
So not sitting there saying, look, there's something wrong with you. We need to fix you. Something needs to happen. But getting them in an environment where they can see something else is possible. Yes. Role models, what you're doing with children sounds like.
That's right. Yeah.
Showing them that it's possible from the beginning.
Exposure. That is an activator of prey drive. Environment is an activator of prey drive. Right? So but I got to place myself in that, right? I got to expose myself to that to go to the next level.
Right. So what else activates that we can use to build our business?
Competition will activate prey drive. Fear of loss can activate prey drive.
Yeah.
Embarrassment can activate prey drive. There's certain things that'll cause a person to, I'm tired of this. Let's do something.
Fear.
Mm-hmm. Embarrassment. Environment. Exposure. Right? And competition. Those are the 5 I talk about in the book.
So exposure is a positive.
Yep.
The other 4 are negative.
Could
they're
be.
I wouldn't say negative. I'd say that different. I'd say they're away from motivation. You're trying to run from something.
Could be.
Except competition could be you're trying to win or lose.
Or competition versus you versus you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But can you speak to towards, in a way, motivation or positive?
People are more motivated by what they'll lose than what they'll gain.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I wish everybody was motivated by potential, like just to want to be better. But that's not how we're wired typically. Right. We're typically more motivated by pain than potential.
But we seem to come with the idea that everyone is the opposite. Like we can tell someone, come work for us, you'll make a bunch of money.
Yeah.
Come buy our policy, it'll be good. Do the things that we want, it'll be good. And that's very little motivating. But you take 1 penny away from someone that they already have, and they'll prey drive.
Fear activates the prey drive. Because 1 penny could lead to more pennies.
Right.
And what if I lose everything?
Yeah. I learned teaching people, look, you can make $250,000 a year within 5 years in this business. Real easy.
Yep.
Someone who's never made over $40,000 a year, they're like, I got a base. I'm at $40,000. I want to make $250,000. Sounds good.
Yep.
But if you take them to $39,000 a year, they'll work 10 times harder than they will to make that extra $200,000.
That's right. The brain is more motivated. It's more motivated by what it'll lose than what it'll gain. Right. It's kind of part of our survival.
Right.
We wake up and try to survive. So fear is one of the number 1 activators of prey drive.
Would you say we're hardwired for survival way more than success?
100%.
The
brain doesn't know how to win. You have to teach it how to win, which is why programming the subconscious mind is so critical.
Right.
Telling it what's going to happen. Think of it like it works for you. You don't work for it.
I see. Program instead of visualization of success before you happen.
Yeah, you're telling people this is what's going to happen. I'm going to do $500,000 a month. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Like telling the brain. I do an exercise called A to B, which is so simple but so powerful. Everybody's at A. We are moving toward B. B is some mental construct of what we think life should be like, right? There's things we want, okay? And what's in between there is typically knowledge, skill, desire, confidence, relationship. Something's keeping us from getting from A to B, right? So it's good to motivate, it's bad to measure success because you never get there.
Yeah.
Once you get there, the parade drive is lost.
Yeah. Now you've won.
Yeah, now you've won. It's like winning a championship.
I think if an agent had the ability to just do everything he could do, he got to where he made $100,000 a year.
Yep.
He sat there and he maintained. He'd show up in the office every day and he put in his time.
Yep.
He didn't want to lose a client, and he did just enough to keep it right over that 100,000 mark.
That's right.
And we kept trying to motivate him for years. And he said, "Look, no one in my family's ever made six figures. No one's
reached
ever
his
made
beat.
6 figures." Yeah.
Satisfied needs never motivate.
And he needed to move because I believe we're put on this earth. God gives us this. I think this whole existence is just an evolutionary process.
Yep.
And I think you have to have those short-term goals, but once you get there, you see 1,000 times more as possible.
That's right.
But so many people get there and they just lose that consciousness of that you're supposed to keep going. You're supposed to keep going.
Yep.
And you don't know what it is that you're supposed to keep going to till you get to the next level so you can get the next vision.
That's right.
Do you see many people on that whole path? Because that was a long journey for me to figure out just that. And I'm probably missing something beyond that.
Yep.
So do you see many people with that amount of awareness I just talked about? And then what's the next step that I'm not seeing?
Well, my mentor was Covey, and he used to talk about rises. When you're climbing a mountain, when you get to a rise, you can see something you couldn't see before, but you're not at the summit.
Right.
You can just see more from here than you used to could see, right? And you got to keep climbing up there to get to the summit, which is the top.
Right.
But I think about unconscious incompetence. Conscious incompetence is I know that I don't know, but I'm open. Right. Unconscious incompetence is I don't even know what I don't know, man.
Right.
I don't even know what's out there.
Right. That's where people. That's where people start.
Yep.
What would you say? What would you say the meaning of life is?
Whew. Big question. Probably service to other people. Losing yourself, finding your voice, and inspiring other people to find their voice.
So, service to other people. What about on a personal level? Do you think evolution of the spirit, of the soul?
Absolutely. Maturity. One of my favorite sermons is a sermon by Jimmy Evans who talked about how to change failure to success. And he talks about 7 ways the world measures success. Looks, fame, money, power, education, right? And I was listening to that and I wrote down, could you be a successful failure? And the answer is yes.
Sure.
You can have all those things and still be a failure.
Oh, if you can be successful and fail, right.
You could be a successful failure because you're successful in all these areas, but a failure in other areas.
Now, one thing I said just one day that stuck at the office, I said, I don't want to grow a bunch of millionaire diabetics.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's change up the food in our kitchen.
That'd be a successful failure.
Right. You can have everything you have. You don't have your health, you've lost everything.
That's right.
Right. If you don't feel good about the interactions and the things you've had in life, you've lost everything.
That's right. That's right.
So, but I also would flip that around on the other side is people see failure as a failure, and I don't see it. I see it as a step on the road to success. It's actually the path.
Right.
Failing is the path, and people often, when they hit that, they go, "Oh my gosh, I failed." And it's if I get in the road to drive back to Austin, and I get down to DeSoto on South, I didn't fail to get to Austin. I'm just still on my way.
Yeah.
Right. And there's no other way. I can't teleport there.
That's right. Yeah. Well, there's only 2 options: fail or fail forward. Ultimately.
Yeah. And what would you define as failure, though?
There is no failure.
What do people say is failure? Right.
There is no failure. There's recalibration. Mm-hmm. There's a gain. There's a learning. There's an understanding. Nothing is a failure. It's I did it. I tried it. I did it. It didn't work the way I thought it would. Right. Let's try it another way.
What if people just give in to that? What if they say I fail and give up? Is that a failure?
Most people do that.
Right.
Most people do that.
Is that a failure, or is it just an opportunity to learn even more later?
If they don't, maybe they come back to it, But the failure would be they don't gain anything from it, or they keep making the same mistake over and over.
Right. I think that's the ultimate failure. But luckily while you're still alive, while your heart's still beating, there's always time to recover from that. And you can always use all of those failures that if you did give up before, you can use that as motivation.
Right.
In some way to recover.
That's right.
In that way.
Yeah.
So what is next for you? What are you working on right now? How are you going to scale your business and your company and make a bigger impact in the world?
I'm building a greatness factory in Nashville, Tennessee, which is the first of many, hopefully, which is a unique training facility where people can learn, grow, connect, be inspired. There's auditoriums, podcast studios.
Really?
Yes, it's a really cool city called the Greatness Factory, where we manufacture greatness, and we look to either franchise or license those around the country. We've got interest from everywhere.
Really?
We have so that's a cool thing I got going. I literally just closed on it.
The Greatness Factory.
The Greatness Factory.
And so you're going to have podcasts, and what else was it?
Yeah, you can work there, you can learn there, you can connect. There's coaching programs. There's a state-of-the-art auditorium. There's, it's like a little city where people come to work and learn and grow. And then we add the coaching and the activation, so all the members get coaching. They can all get better.
And you're developing coaches through your training programs and all this?
Yes.
Yeah. And so do you have a whole lot of coaches and develop coaches?
No, we're actually certifying a Success School coaches right now, which are my teachers for my kids, because we expect to have many of those coming up.
Yeah. And so tell me about your school again.
Success schools are 90-day training academies. They don't replace school, they supplement schools, but we teach the habits of the top 1% to 9 to 17-year-olds, 17 to 22-year-olds. They get weekly coaching, so they have a coach, and then they come to a boot camp with me, and we're adding people every week to that.
I think a lot of people want to send their kids there.
Could be thousands of people.
That's when you were talking about the closed and open people, if you can open them when they're young.
That's right.
I see like a few guys young 20s in here, they're already here.
Yeah.
If I would have been here when I was 21.
100%.
I mean, I just see what's going for them. And they're going to just far surpass anything I've ever accomplished.
Yeah.
I'm going to give them a run for their money because I'm going to live to be over 100. But
I love it. I love it.
That's what it is. What you're doing is inspiring. What else is going on for you?
I've got a daughter coming in about 3 weeks. I got a new daughter coming in about 3 weeks.
Congratulations.
I've got a new book coming out, which is my 17th book in January, called Flip the Switch. So, it's just
that's where you teach the pray.
That's where I teach the pray drive. Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm just in the game like everybody else, trying to make it one day.
Make friends and all that.
Yeah.
Let me ask you about your daughter.
Yeah.
Is this your first daughter?
This will be my second daughter, third child.
Your second daughter, third child. So I have a 5-year-old daughter.
Yep.
It's my first child.
Okay.
I had her at 42 years old. To you, was it the same?
Yeah.
The first daughter. I've heard about everyone that's proud of their son, but that connection you get with your daughter, what is that like for you?
Special. My daughter's just like me. She's a little female version of me. It's kind of scary.
Mine is like same thing. We're together, and you see it's like, oh my gosh, there's no doubt who the dad is.
That's right. That's right.
Right, but there's that special connection I think we all have with our daughters. You have a son too,
I do. 2-year-old son, yeah.
A 2-year-old son. What's the difference?
He's laid back. The son is laid back. The daughter's kind of intense. Yeah.
And so, but you coach female athletes?
I did,
and all that?
Yes.
So what would you, with women in sports, if you want to go there, with women in sports, what's happening culturally, forget the recent nonsense, but just over the last couple decades, what do you think is happening with women and their ability, and what are they getting from sports, and what are the challenges?
They're becoming more athletic. In 1999 when I first started coaching, we were doing, it's just when women were just starting to lift weights.
Right.
In high school, right? We had a full-time strength and conditioning coach. That was unheard of in 99, right?
Yeah.
Now they're bigger, faster, stronger, more athletic, but they're still facing confidence issues, probably more than ever. With the advent of social.
With social media.
Social is, man, it affects people's psyche and confidence.
Yeah.
Likes and images and how they feel about themselves and what they're watching, and all of that's different than what I faced when I was a basketball coach.
And anything that happens instantaneously. Everyone knows about it all of a sudden. So anything bad's horrible immediately and things like that. But when women are on their journey in life, how does sports help them? And what do they get out of? There's people who go to the WNBA or whatever, but how does that help them?
And builds confidence. Builds camaraderie. Something you got to show up to, be disciplined to, have a respect for other people, fight through your feelings. Those are things sports does for people.
And getting coaching.
Coaching and getting in that open mindset. See, all growth happens there. I can't tell you how many adults that need a coach, but they won't get one. So they just it's a vicious cycle, man. They just keep getting the same results over and over
Right.
Because they never seek out someone who can help them.
They don't. Yeah, they're closed. They need someone else on the outside to unlock that.
Yes.
Somehow get in another.
You can't see the picture when you're inside the frame, man.
Right. Yeah, like telling a fish it's wet.
You can't see the you can't see the picture when you're inside the frame.
So women in sports, women's sports is where you got it all. I was a college athlete. I was yelled at. And so, I mean, when it was yelled at. I mean, it's you're yelling at Brandon, go run a lap. Brandon, do this, and get in there, boy, go on, right, like that. Less of that in women's sports. No, for sure. Is there the same?
Same.
Yeah. You can yell at them just the same and all that.
Yeah.
Modern
I actually think women are a lot tougher than guys.
I agree.
I mean, even down to like my wife, she's tougher than I am. So.
I agree with that. I just didn't know the approach was acceptable in a lot of this
it's just intensity.
It's
just more intensity.
Yeah.
It's more concentrated time period, compressed competition. We got to do something. We don't have time to go 15 rounds on this.
Right.
So it's real intense.
Well, you have to do that.
You got to do. Yeah. I mean, different coaches do it different ways, but I was pretty intense.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes you have to do that to break people out of their deal. So, like, I'll go into a business situation. It's always weird with the laws and all the stuff that happens now. But sometimes I got to come in and I got to break your frame.
Yeah.
I got to come in and I got to say something that just shocks you out.
That's right.
To get that result, because I need you unlocked, and then I have some kind of open frame that I can talk to and speak to and open up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, have you had any in your business, like? I mean, is that same coaching style that you did then? Is that how you're building your business? And
I'm intense. I'm intense and positive. I don't get in people's grill as much as I used to. Adults are too soft; they can't take it.
Yep. All right, we'll wrap up with one thing, and thank you so much for coming here again.
Thank you for having me.
So, you're obviously a good reader of people.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, you're world renowned, right? So, you met me.
Yeah.
What, 30 minutes ago?
Yes.
What do I need?
I actually met you first visually from your sign out there in the thing, right?
Yeah.
And I said, well, who's this guy? Because I don't know who he is, right?
Right.
I mean, I think seems very genuine, authentic, and you're trying to do something big, my anticipation, and you got a team of people. Yeah. See, our actions always speak louder than, right? We can tell, are you a person of interest? Are you trying to do something big in the world? You must be, because you're here. You got a big team. You're trying to do things. You're doing business deals. You're interviewing successful people. Right. So that tells me pretty much all I need to know.
What am I missing?
You're open.
What am I missing?
I don't know. I'd have to be around you a little bit more. No.
I gotta get a in-depth coaching session.
I have to be around you a little bit more.
All right.
And it's not that you're probably not missing something. That's where our brains are trained. Like, what am I missing? Sometimes it's just, man, there's areas of refinement. Could I have done a better job speaking today? Yes, I could have. Yeah. There's areas that I hit it nice, and then there's areas I go, I could have done better there. And that's just the way I think about life. Is there's no gap. There's just a gain of learning.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for being here. Yeah. Where can everyone find you?
Yeah, CoachBurt.com. Follow me on
B-U-R-T.
Yep. Follow me on social, Coach Michael Burt. You can pretty much find me everywhere. And man, I'm there. I'm out there coaching.
Thanks for being on Insurasales Live. Good to know you, brother.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
God bless you.
God bless you. Take care, guys.